What we're going to make today is a nice roasted monkfish tail. We're going to prep that down completely from scratch and we're going to serve that with a cannellini bean stew. We're going to make a red pepper butter just to add another kind of layer of flavour on there and pair it all together. It's going to be a fantastic supper, lunch, little sharing dish for the family. It's an absolute worldie. Let's make a nice flavoured butter. So red peppers, monkfish is a really nice little kind of fit, but you could use this butter for a variety of different things. It is as simple as you would imagine. We're just going to cut down the red peppers. We're going to roast them in the oven, a little bit of seasoning, and then we're going to blend it into the butter. Done. To do a cannellini bean stew, we'll have shallot and carrot, fennel and garlic. Tiny bit of leek as well. Not too much because we've got quite a lot of onion in there already. The red onions can go into its own bowl, and then we're going to cut a little bit of rosemary just to finish it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So we have our mire ready, our bay leaf, and then some rosemary to finish, and then also the red onion, which will go in right at the end because we don't want to cook that too much. We want to keep that with a little bit of texture. So we've got some nice dried cannellini beans here. Rather than using tin stuff, you get a much nicer bite, much more unctuous feeling in your mouth. A little bit of pre-prep to do with these is to make them delicious. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to soak them, for a good 4 or 5 hours in some cold water, preferably overnight. What that does is it just helps them plump up. They're cooking a lot less time and they'll hold their shape an awful lot better as well, to be honest. So straight into a pan. A good amount of salt. Fill it up with some water. I'm going to put a couple of bay leaves in there as well and then bring them to the simmer. So let's start making our little stew. I'm going to just use half of each of these chilies to give it a nice little bit of heat after as well. Obviously, depending on how spicy you like your food. For me, I love it. And likewise, you could even start this with a little bit of chorizo or something at the beginning if you really wanted to. Get them into a little bowl, ready to go. Let's get this little stew cooked. So we'll go with some nice olive oil and with some of your vegetables. Just want to soften them nicely in that olive oil. Okay, we'll go with some red onion now. That's starting to smell fresh now. Leave that a few minutes now on its own, just tick over. Let's see how these little beads are getting on now. They've just got a tiny, tiny, tiny little bite left in them. But I want to finish them in all this now. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to bring this all together now. So the beans and the water, the lot, we're going to finish into this pan here. So I'm bringing these flavours together nice now. In with a nice little bit of chopped rosemary we did earlier, and a couple more bay leaves as well. Now we'll let those beans just absorb all that juice now. We're going to finish now with some nice spinach, and then we're going to go in with a nice dollop of our red pepper butter. So I got some nice monkfish from my man Sol down at Newlyn. I've used Sol for years. His fish quality is exceptional. We've got a nice monkfish tail here to butcher down from complete scratch. Step one is just to remove the skin and go through the tail here. Next step is moving these little prongs. There'll be some at the top and there'll be some at the bottom as well. So just using some nice, good strong scissors, we're just going to remove these guys as well. And there'll be a couple up the north end as well here. And they're all off, nicely done. If you were keeping it as a steak, just so you can cut through the bowl, have it as like a tronchon, what you want to do is take all this sinew off but leave it on the bone. For our recipe, we're just going to take it off the bone. Just going to run a knife all the way down the backbone here. That's it. Whole bones come out. This makes the best fish stock in the world because it actually has quite a lot of mire in it. So next step is to take this membrane off here, which we can see, because this stuff will just completely contract and be horrendous texture in your mouth. So before cooking, we're going to brine the fish just for like 10-15 minutes, just in some salty water. So this is up to like a 6 or 7% brine. It's quite high. Okay, so the monkfish has had about 10 minutes now. We're going to get that out of the brine, just pat it dry, ready to cook later on. Easy as that. No chance, mate. So let's get a nice hot pan, medium to high heat. I've taken a tiny bit of the tail off. I'm going to keep that back for another little recipe, like some little monkfish scampi or something. So this is the nice centre cut of the fish, so it's all the same size. It'll cook all at the same speed. You can kind of see here how they're starting to change colour. Every now and again, I just kind of move the fish just to keep in the hot spots of the pan, which you can hear. And I'm going to put a good amount of this red peppers in butter. Yeah, that's looking delicious. Get some of that lovely butter just to rest along with it as well. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead now and cook the other one. Okay, so be generous. You can see how the butter and the starch from the beans has gone nice and creamy. It's good to have these things as nice sharers. Some really good olive oil is on top. Let's carve up some monkfish, put it on top. Fantastic. Get some of those resting juices and butter on there as well. Well, there we go, guys. No need to put it in an oven. We're just going to dry it out. This is a great little sharing little dish, but like I say, this would be fantastic for anything, not just monkfish. That bean should be great for loads of different things. Nice. I'm done. See you later. Get involved. Absolutely delicious.